Welcome to another episode of What's Good Cheyenne. And I'm your host, JP Fluellen, and this is Curtis Leggy.
Sure, I'm sure.
I'm sure. All right, so what are we talking about today, Curtis?
Well, we're getting towards the end of the summer season. So a lot of people saying, "Oh, does that mean you're done selling houses?" No, that means a better time to buy houses is coming up, and a better time to sell houses is coming up because you don't have near as much competition. So the sellers can put it out there, and there are our buyers out there looking for it. So yeah, don't let the calendar fool you and all the people on the media saying, "Oh, no, you have to wait till next year." No, actually, I have bought two of my houses during the month of December because I saved so much money on it. So yeah, and we're used to the cold. So, but
True.
I just saved a lot of money doing it that way. I bought two houses that way, and uh, I don't regret doing it at all. So just a reminder out there: if you've been toying with it or you're on the fence about maybe buying or selling, but you're thinking maybe I'll wait till next year. No, time to put it on is right now. So they're saying, well, how about the cost of living? What I came across is uh, the winter is usually the cheapest time of the year to purchase a home, but it's also a good time to sell it as well. And the cost of living compared Wyoming compared to all of the other surrounding states, that includes Utah and Nebraska and Colorado and all of them and Montana. Wyoming's the cheapest because we have less taxes and cost of living is just a lot lower. So
Yeah, if you live in a state that you're freaking out about the taxes, come check out Wyoming's taxes. We actually had some people come from California and they were shocked at how cheap our taxes were here. They were just like,
yeah,
"Is this a joke? Like, am I getting punked?" You know, I just want to make sure that this is actually legit, so I don't get a bill at the end of the year for more money. And I'm like, no,
yeah,
because I've talked to people that are paying, you know, 2% of the cost of their house in taxes.
yeah,
And there's places in New York right now where the cost of taxes is more than their payment.
yeah. And the crime is lower in this area. I mean, if there were a mugging in Cheyenne, it'd be front page news.
This is
I think
very true.
I think the main thing cops are busy doing are usually drug use. That's what our prisons are usually full of drug users, maybe some drug sellers and drunks. And that's about it, really, for the majority of it.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, so I mean, if you're thinking about Cheyenne, if you're thinking about any places, we've had people literally throw darts at at a map and land on Cheyenne. That's how they ended up in Cheyenne. They
Yeah.
also just said, hey, they did a Google search on what's a good place that still has high conservative values. They've landed on Cheyenne that way as well. And then we've also, had people end up here because of the military. We've had people end up here because they did a research on, education, where's the best place to raise a family, those kinds of things. We've also had people move here because, if you're in the education field, what has the highest average for teachers' salaries? And Cheyenne ranks amongst the highest places in the U.S. in terms of first year teacher salaries. So there's things like that. I know that my sister-in-law in Florida, her first year as a early education teacher was only making 22,000 a year, which
Hey,
I think is like around $6-7 an hour if you run the
yeah.
numbers.
And we also have state government jobs here like crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people come to Cheyenne because we are the capital. And a lot of your state government jobs, majority of them are right here. And we're real close to the University of Wyoming in Laramie. So
Yep, and we have some federal jobs as well, um,
mhm.
with the military as a GS civilian employee, and then we also have the Bureau of Land Management here, which is also federal
Mhm.
here in Cheyenne as well. So, with that being said, we're gonna give you guys some stats. It's time for the stats. So, uh, 2023 year to date stats. So, in the month of July, we had 162 homes sold, which compared to last year was 182 homes sold. So we're still staying on track to being very similar than last year. So don't believe what you hear in the news on, there's a crash. The crash is a coming.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
crash here.
NAR predicted last year in December that we would drop up to 7% this year. And the stats just don't show that. The stats show that we're staying pretty steady.
Mhm.
When compared to last year, year to date, we sold 1,281 homes last year. In the same time frame this year, we've sold 1,025 homes. So when you do the math on that, on the percentage of change, is 0.8%. So statistically speaking, we've had virtually no change. So we've
Mhm.
been stayed very consistent here in Cheyenne. So it's definitely a good place to invest, whether you're buying, in the residential space or the multifamily space or commercial or whatever. We're very very stable as a
Yeah,
in that regards. Currently, we have 217 homes under contract, which is trending higher than the month of July. So I think the last minute get some homes under contract before school starts, so we can get moved in and things before the school year starts to get chugging along here. Is still a good time to start making a move if you're thinking about it. As well
yeah,
as inventory, currently on the MLS, we have 447 houses as of today,
that's
and
pretty good for the size too.
it is, and 366 of those are in Cheyenne.
Mhm.
So there's plenty out there for you to choose from. So don't feel like you can't put your house on the market because there's not going to be anything available. That is not true. There is plenty of homes on the market.
You have some competition if you put it on the market. So
Yeah. So the key to that is price it right, get a good realtor. It's going to advise you to make the right decisions so that you can sell your home for the most amount of money in the fastest amount of time.
yeah,
So that
yeah, because
includes having a good marketing plan.
yeah, because in sales 101, they always said if a house is not selling, it's probably because of the price. The price is too high. End of story. So we tell our sellers. A lot of them. Sometimes they listen. Sometimes they don't. And if they don't listen, it just sits there.
Yeah,
So
and it could be priced correctly, but it could be that it might not be priced in line with the condition. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, exactly.
you might need some carpet, you might need some paint, you might need to clean the carpets, do some touch up things like that, fix those broken little things around the house, and then of course the one thing that we kind of neglect sometimes is staging. If you stage a home, then it
Yeah,
gives you the appearance of like what this house could look like in a very staged environment, which may or may not be reflective of your actual environment, but it would give you an idea of what the house could look like in an ideal world.
yeah.
And
Sometimes we wish our stuff looked as good as the staging equipment does.
I know, and sometimes it looks as good as it does because it's not real.
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah.
fake beds, I've seen, all the things.
Oh yeah. Inflatable beds. You'll
Oh
see a
yeah.
little sign says, "Do not sit on this."
Mhm. Yep, or it's a cardboard bed or it's 2 box springs on top of each other or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm like, "Man,
yeah,
they really did a good job of getting squared corners on this bed," and yeah, it's because you can't sleep on it.
yeah,
But it
exactly.
doesn't mean it doesn't look great in pictures.
Oh no, no. That's why you want to sit on it. Then when you sit on it, you fall because the cardboard collapsed.
So yes, and don't pet the animals.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
exactly. Or let them out.
yeah. So I think that gives us a good snapshot of what's kind of going on. I guess there's a few things still left. Fridays on the Plaza is still going on. I think we have 3 more Fridays left before that comes to a conclusion here in
Mhm.
Cheyenne. The summers in Cheyenne are very, very busy. That's probably why that 13 year or 13 week time frame between school getting out and school starting back up again probably flies by because there's so
It
much.
does. It really does.
So
Yeah, then it starts slowing down. But yeah, and it's also a nice time of the year because it's for this year, while the rest of the country is burning up in heat waves, we've actually been cooler, a lot cooler here in Cheyenne. I was showing a house to some people who were from actually, I think it was Colorado. And they said it's hot over there where they're at. They said we are loving this cooler temperature. I was sitting with my jacket on in July. I thought, well, I'm glad somebody is. I want to warm up. But then you see how hot it is other parts of the country. You think, okay, maybe I shouldn't complain quite as much, just a
yeah,
little.
and we're in double digits, and places all over the country are experiencing drought and 3 digit temperatures. You know,
Yeah,
I'll take my 72 in August temperatures any day.
Well, and we've had more water this year. Everything's still green. The whole
Yeah,
place is.
so you want to hear something crazy? I did some research on this. So the wettest year we've ever had. So this takes into consideration snowfall and rain,
Mhm.
it kind of gives you like the most wettest years in inches. So Cheyenne, since they started measuring this back in, I want to say in 1914 was when they started measuring the wetness.
Mhm.
And so Cheyenne was at 23 inches, was the most, the wettest year they've ever had.
Wow.
And we're at 16 and the year's not over yet. We haven't
We're
even gotten
catching
to it.
up.
So we may break a record this year. Not that I'm like I want to brag about that, but I'll tell you
Yeah.
it is very nice on the water bills for the
Oh
summer.
yeah. I've watered the lawn maybe 3 times this whole summer.
Yeah, I think we went 3 weeks of watering and then done, we haven't watered since.
Yeah.
It's been very nice.
Great.
Although, knock on wood, we've got about a week's worth of forecasting of no wet weather, but I don't believe it. This is Wyoming. The wind blows in whatever it wants to blow in.
Oh
So,
yeah. A lot
yeah.
of times we have a storm coming in and the wind blows it away. So,
Yes, sir. All right. Well, if people want to know more about how they can learn more about Cheyenne, how can people get hold of you, Kurt?
oh, there's many ways. You can contact me directly by my smartphone. It's on me all the time. Yes, I'm one of those people. 307-286-0729. And if I don't answer, that means I'm either driving or I'm on the line. Leave a message. Or you can text me. You can email me, kurtlackeyhomes at gmail.com. That's Kurt with a C. And you can check out my stuff on my YouTube page. If you're watching this, you're either on JP's or my YouTube page. If you're on mine, please subscribe and like. It's a YouTube Kurt Lackey Homes.
Awesome. And if you want to get a hold of me, or if you're a real estate agent moving into the area, you can just reach out to me directly at 307-772-1184. Or you can catch me on all the socials, JP Fluellen. I'm also on YouTube at JP Fluellen. I'm also on all the other platforms at JP Fluellen. So on the new X platform, which was Twitter, which now is X, which
Yeah.
if you don't tweet somebody, then what is it? I don't know. I,
Did
I
you?
suggested on Elon Musk's feed that he should call it X Notes.
Yeah.
So if you want to shoot me an X Note, you can go
Yeah.
on Twitter and you can
I'm
get me
on that
there
too.
as
Yeah.
well.
I'm on
And
Twitter,
I'm
Instagram.
also on Threads at JP Fluellen. I think I'm on Truth Social as JP Fluellen. I think I'm on all the things at JP Fluellen. So
Okay.
that's FLUELLEN.
Like Ellen has a flu. There
Like
you
Ellen has the flu. All right, that concludes another episode of What's Good, Cheyenne. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
go. All right.